started, it was Taos Country Furniture when I opened in the little building up on Paseo del Pueblo Norte, and it was really a small little house at that time. I've put on 3 different editions since then. 10 years ago, I think, was the most important edition because at 15 years in business, I'll tell you how I started in a second. At 15 years in business, I just had a gut feeling that either I do something big or I die. You just get that feeling. Something's got to happen here. And I'd always wanted to expand, but it never kind of came together. And one day I said, I need to move forward. I need to go forward. So I added that part of the building and the portal onto the front. It changed my business 100%. Finally, people knew that I was a store and that I was there. But when I opened in '86 with my former husband, Dana, I was working for Jim Wagner at that time, and he had a program for young men on parole through the corrections. And it was one of those magical things that he had started painting furniture, and he wanted these young guys. He knew after his time in prison that going there was not going to help anyone. So if he could start a program for them to learn a trade and build furniture, paint furniture. So I actually opened for this, was called Muebles de Taos, to sell their furniture. And it was magical because of the program, and painted furniture was hot, and everything just came together at once. And I had a fabulous first, maybe 5 years while that program was going with the story. We were written up in every paper in the country. And we would build furniture, have it built. They would build it. Jim would get young guys to help paint it. And we had North American came to our warehouse every Friday, and we shipped to we shipped to about 40 stores around the country at that time. At that time. And then times change. And you have to, that's one big thing I've learned in the retail business, because we manufactured, we wholesaled, and we had the retail store. And as the times change economically and the world changes and your customer changes, you have to change also. You have to, one of my biggest things I found is that I listen to what all my customers say constantly. If they come in and have something to say to me, I hear them and I try to act on it. A man came in from Seattle one day and said, I own a sign business in Seattle. Could I give you some help on your sign up front? And I said, sure. So he told me the color to make the background, the color to make the letters, the color to make the flowers. I went right to Randall's and bought the paint and painted it that afternoon. And people would pass and say, good idea, all right, because it just wasn't working. And so listening, I think, is major. But we went from that point, I think, for about 10 years, and Muebles de Taos sadly didn't last, more than 5 years, I think. But then we kept quite a few of the builders, but it came to a point where people weren't that interested in the painted furniture. Just like Barbara was saying, so many things, you have to constantly be aware of what people are looking for, what they want, what your competition is. That's a big thing for us after 25 years. There's a lot more, there's other stores in town that carry things. For a long time, we were the one everybody went to, but now we have to really, we spend a lot of time going out and seeing what everybody else is doing. We go to stores and see what they're doing so we can try to make ours different and special. And it's just this morning we were having a long conversation about how can we make the changes for the new year that make people still want to come in and say, wow, this is a great shop. But I can answer questions for you later.